Did you know you have the power to change your life? It all depends on your beliefs. If you have limiting beliefs, you limit yourself. I'm Becky Beach, and I'm here to help you overcome your limiting beliefs so you can design your dream life. This is the Becky Beach Show. Oh, hey everybody, I thought I would do a podcast live. This is the Becky Beach Show podcast. And today I'm talking about how to not be a cheesy salesperson. A lot of people are afraid to sell because they're afraid they sound cheesy. Like when those used car salesmen, they go, I got you this great deal. It's you got to get it. I got everything loaded in this car. You're going to be so great to get it. So you might think you're a cheesy salesperson, like a used car salesman, but you really aren't. If you're not a cheesy person, then you're not going to be a cheesy salesperson. So, when you try to sell, you think about selling on people's emotions. Like when you're trying to sell something. And the top, emotions people have they want, health, wealth, relationships. That's the main things people are wanting. So if you cater to those to those emotions, then you'll be able to sell easily. Like health, wealth, and relationships are like the main things people are wanting, in life. So if you cater to those, then you got it made. So it's pretty easy to sell. And I like to think of selling as like story selling. I'll think of like a story that happened to me, and then I try to relate to it, to the sale. So that's what I do, when I'm trying to sell something. And you might have your own style, you just got to develop your own selling style. And then so you won't sound so cheesy, you won't sound like you're trying to sell someone a used car for like the bottom on the dollar. So you got to just try to think of it in terms of that, like sharing even. Like another way to sell is to share. Just share about what your product is, and how it can help the customer. Because if you have a product and it could really benefit a customer and change their life, then you have a moral and ethical obligation to sell this product to the customer. Like it's moral, you're morally obligated and ethically. So you should definitely like get that around your mind. Like maybe that would help you sell it better if you have to sell it because you came up with this wonderful printable or other digital product and it's really going to help someone. Maybe it's a course, and you really think it's going to help change someone's life and provide them a transformation. You definitely should, try to sell it to them because it's going to help them. And think about how it's going to help them. What transformation is a person going to get? Are they going to, make more money? That's wealth. Are they going to, like lose weight? And that's like health, or gain weight, just depending on what you're selling. Are they going to have a better relationship with their child? It's like parenting. It's a parenting product, and so you just think about that and it really helps, sell better. You just think about the customer's emotions, like because people buy based on their emotions. First their emotions and then it goes to their logical side of the brain. But first, the emotional side usually ends up winning because they really feel like they need this. But the logical say, no, you shouldn't buy this. You already spent so much money on such and such, really shouldn't, spend any more money. But then the emotional goes, but I really need this. It's going to help me do such and such. I really got to get it. So just shut up, logical brain, get away. So they just tell the brain to shut the hell up. And they go with their emotional side, and they end up purchasing and clicking the buy button. So then you get a sale. So it's really good to, plan people's emotions when you're trying to sell something. And you just think of the benefits, like what benefit is your product going to give them? You list out all the benefits on a piece of paper. So get out like a piece of paper and write down or even type, in a WordPress document, or even a word processor, and just think about all the ways that your product is going to benefit the customer, like everything. Just think of everything. Then when you're writing your sales copy, go through the list, and pick up the most important thing on the list. And I would put that first. Like, what's the most important thing that this product's going to do for the customer? And I will make that number one, on the priority list. And then you just keep going down. You just flesh out your sales copy, and give it a good outline. And then by the time you're at you do the closing, because I used to be a professional saleswoman, so I do closings. That's the way I think about it. Like I used to be in MLMs. I sold like Pampered Chef and other MLM products. And I was like a saleswoman. But I really don't recommend getting into MLMs because it's kind of a shady business, because there's people above you and below you, and it's all complicated. And I'd just rather, just sell my own personal products now. I don't want to sell anybody else's products. But that's what I used to do, when I was selling. So you show how it's a closing at the bottom, and say, hey, like this product is for you. You should definitely take advantage of it. If any of these if you have any of these problems, on the list that I've discussed above, this might be for you. So then I might have a call to action saying purchase it now, and then it gives them like say, oh yeah, this they did like answer my problems. Like I do have these problems with my life, and this product is really going to help me. So then they might end up purchasing. So make sure you do that if you're selling on Etsy. Like put that in your copy. And even in your images, if you're listing on Etsy, you should put, each image, you can do it up to 10 images. So each image should be a benefit of the product. So it's very visual. If they don't want to read, they can just scroll through your images and click through and see all the benefits your product is going to give to them. So that's like another way to sell to them, is they list all the benefits of your product. Like say your product, has like a 12-month calendar. You can put that in one of the product images and one of the benefits. So it's like really easy. And maybe the product is going to help them plan a perfect baby shower. Like right now, baby showers are really complicated to plan out. You got to keep all the guests happy, and you got to make sure you get enough people so you get enough presents. Because a lot of people, don't have that much money, and they rely on baby showers to be able to get products for their child. Like when I was pregnant with my child, like I really needed, like certain things, for the baby, because I was a first time mother and I had nothing. So I really wished I would have had like a baby shower planner back then. I just ended up not planning anything. And then I ended up not getting as much as I would have liked, if I did plan. So you can even do that. There's even like wedding planners you could make, that kind of help the same thing with a customer and help them to plan out their wedding. There's just tons of different product ideas that could really help a customer, do certain things. And that's relationships. And so is the baby shower is kind of relationships too, because they want to plan the good shower for their friends. Their friends are coming. So they want to make sure the shower is fun with games and stuff. So that's another good product idea to come up with, that relies on relationships. There's always different product ideas, that cater to the health, wealth, and relationship niches. And those tend to sell the best because my blog, mombeach.com, I make like $7,000 a month selling my printables at Mom Beach. And I have mostly financial printables that will help the customer plan their financials, like their budgeting, or I even have a debt snowball, planner, and also have a debt snowball calculator that's like a spreadsheet. They can go through and it calculates their debt snowball plan and also a budgeting plan. There's another spreadsheet for that. So I got all these life-changing printables that could really help a customer, and I'm obligated to sell them because I create something that's actually going to help someone budget, help someone, do their debt snowball. Because it could be really complicated to do budgeting, and also do the debt snowball like the Dave Ramsey talks about, so it's kind of hard to do that. But I came up with products that actually help the customer. So I have no trouble selling them, and I make a lot of money selling them because it's just a no-brainer for someone to purchase because like it answers all their questions they may have, in the sales copy. Like they may have all these questions about it. So you can also address questions. Like a really good thing is do a frequently asked questions part at the end of the copy of all the questions that you think they might ask, all the obligations, or the that they might need in the product, so you got to make sure you go through that. I mean, objections, not obligations. I'm sorry. I mean, like the objections that you might think they might come up with, when you're trying to sell the product. And then you answer all the objections. You really think about everything they will say, about not wanting to purchase it, like all the objections to it. So that's like another good idea to sell it, is to think about that in your sales copy. And I'm not sure how many characters you can put in your Etsy sales listing, but on Shopify, you can do pretty good. You can even integrate lead pages with Shopify. So you can actually have a really nice sales listing using lead pages. I've seen this done. I'm like thinking about doing it myself because I do have lead pages in Shopify. So the sales listing ends up looking really cool because it looks like a sales page like you would see on lead pages or like even on Elementor, but it's in your Shopify store. So I'm thinking about integrating that to like get some time to do that. But that's another like cool idea to make your sales pages look nicer in Shopify is to use lead pages. On Etsy, you just have copy, but you really got to make your copy stand out. Like put lots of calls to actions from the purchase and answer all their objections they may have about the product, and all the benefits it's going to give them and the transformation it's going to provide to them. Like how is it going to make their life better after they purchase? Like what's your printable going to do that's going to change their life? Is it going to help them plan a perfect baby shower? Is it going to help them plan a perfect Christmas? Is it going to help them plan a Thanksgiving and just different things like that? You outline all the benefits it's going to help them. And pretty soon, you got like all the sales copy that you could put in your listing that's really going to catch their eye, and open their wallets, so it's like a win-win situation because they can see all the benefits of the product that you're selling. They're more likely to purchase, especially if you do it in your sales images, like make some really nice images that have each benefit in the listing. That's another way to catch their attention, and I like to use like bright colors in my Etsy listings. Like I use like just like bright colors, like pinks, and stuff that's really going to stand out, because you should make your images stand out in the feed. When you're looking yourself, like what images are standing out to you. Like you should actually take some notes about that. If you're having trouble with your listings on Etsy, you should look through, say like type in your keyword that you're trying to sell. Like maybe it's a baby shower planner, and you type in that and you look through all the listings and see which ones are standing out. Is it like ones that are pink? Is it ones that are like blues? Like what is standing out that to you and making you stop and look? And you take note, and then you could get the same idea for yours, but don't copy it directly, but just get, you kind of the same idea, and then make it your own with your own flair. But that's another good idea. And the same thing goes for Pinterest. If you're trying to sell your printable on Pinterest, you should also search the keyword of your printable and then look to see what other people are doing. Like what other pens are people making, that stand out? Like what colors or what fonts are they using that are standing out? You could take note of that. And you can actually make a secret board on Pinterest where you can save pins that catch your eye. So you can make a secret board. You just lock it so nobody can see it but you. And I have like several secret boards on my Pinterest, and I like to copy pins. Copy where I would make the pin just like it. But I mean like copy the pin onto the board and save it. And that way when I'm making pins, I can look through all the pins that really caught my eye, maybe stop my scroll. And then I could make, pins that look really good, like based on what I've seen, that they're what's catching my attention. And the same thing goes for you, like what's catching your attention, like what's making you stop the scroll, So that's another way you can actually, make better images and just look what was out there and get inspired by it. So, so it's again, like don't be scared to sell. Some people are really scared to sell. Like they're just afraid they're going to come off as cheesy, and just somebody that's trying to scare people, because a lot of people when you do a sales email, a lot of people will unsubscribe. Like I know this happens to me when I'm trying to sell something, people will unsubscribe from my email. So that's just natural. There's some people that are just going to unsubscribe from you just because you're sending out a sales email, and that's understandable because maybe they don't want to be sold to. Because some people do not want to be sold to in the email, so they'll just unsubscribe, and those people aren't going to purchase from you anyway. So don't be upset, because they were likely not going to purchase anyway, because they just want everything for free, like freebie seekers. They want just stuff for free, and they don't want to buy anything, so when you start, trying to sell, then they're going to unsubscribe, and just don't really think about it, that's less people on your list that you don't have to pay for. So they kind of did you a favor that they left your list, so that way you don't have to go through and do like a cold email engagement sequence where you're trying to see if anybody on your list is actually going to be engaged, and it's like a big long process, because you can actually make one of those in ConvertKit. It's a cold cold subscriber engagement sequence. You could see which subscribers end up not clicking through, because if they don't click through or open, then at the end of the email sequence they go into like a tag that says delete. So you can go through and delete the people, that haven't been like clicking through your sequence. And they're definitely people that you don't want on your list because they're not opening your emails and they're not, even like doing any engagement or anything. So that's like a way, to get rid of people that aren't engaged in your list, because you're paying for all these people. You don't want them there if they're not going to open your emails, because that's just less money, because it's expensive to have an email list, very expensive. So if a few people on your list that aren't opening your emails, and not even clicking through, then it's not a good idea to have them on there, because they're just like dead weight on your list. It's not to be mean. It's just like you're paying all this money and they're not opening your emails. They're not clicking through your links. So like, what's the point of having them there? So it's better that they unsubscribe, whereas you would have to remove them physically. So that's like a good tactic. If you're just worried about people unsubscribing, just think about that. Think of getting that mindset. It's like all mindsets. If don't be all upset and like freaking out, like, oh, I shouldn't have sold anything. Like, I'm just going to keep giving things out for free. Because that's what I used to do. I was like really, really scared of selling when I was early blogger. Like, I'll give out everything for free. Like, there's even a printable that I spent 3 weeks on, and I gave it out for free because I was scared to sell it. I didn't think anybody would purchase. So I was just terrified. It's like, what if everybody just unsubscribes from me? Like, nobody will buy anything I sell. Like my stuff isn't good enough, and I just don't think anybody's going to purchase it. So I just kept giving everything for free because I was hoping that the people would stay on my list. But then people are unsubscribing anyway, so I was giving out freebies, and people were still unsubscribing. So then I got really upset, and I put by the unsubscribe. I said, even though I'm giving things out for free, you're still unsubscribing because you let me know why you're unsubscribing. So I put that on the bottom of my email because you can do like email templates. You can actually put that next to the unsubscribe, like some text or something. So I put that, and I never got any response. I just got unsubscribed. So I think I've got even more unsubscribed. So I was just really upset because I was just worried I was just the worst saleswoman ever. Even when I was little, I could not sell any Girl Scout cookies. It was just difficult. Nobody would purchase from me. Like every time there's a fundraiser at school, nobody would purchase anything from me. I'm just the worst saleswoman. But since then, I enrolled in this academy for sellers. It's like an online academy called Sales Psychology Academy. And I enrolled in that. And I paid a bunch of money for it. It's like I don't think they have it anymore. Like it's no longer there. But I used to like be a member of it, and I was just, it helped me really sell. It helped me get into people's minds because it was taught by a master hypnotist. So he taught, his name's Jim Fortin. He taught how to sell using psychology, and that really helped me, be a better saleswoman. I don't think it's currently enrollment anymore. But it really helped me get into the right mindset of selling. I thought about the psychology of people, like their emotions. And then I made sure to sell according to their emotions, like health, wealth, and relationships at the top, the emotions that people buy. Because that controls, them to purchase are those emotions. People are emotional. A lot of people are emotional buyers. Like, especially if you're selling something on Facebook, like an ad, and they're going through their feed and they say, oh, that's really cute. I got to get it. I just love that. I think it's going to like help me stand out. Because if you, say, I used to sell purses, I used to do drop shipping, and I'll sell women's purses. And a lot of times in my copy, I would put, it's going to, make you the envy of your friends. It's going to, make you stand out. And that plays upon their emotions, relationships, because they think the purse is going to help them stand out, and make other friends jealous, and whatnot. So I would put that in my copy, and I got tons of sales. Like that's what my first online business was, drop shipping. And I'll put that in my Facebook ads like all the time. And I got so many sales. Like I was able to pay off over $150,000 in debt, from drop shipping. And it was all because I would play upon people's emotions in my copy, and I have like a nice graphic, of like the purse and everything too. So that was my first business, online, was doing drop shipping, selling women's purses. So then I just carried that over to printables. And I like selling printables better because with drop shipping, like you just don't know when the product's going to get to the customer. You get lots of negative responses in your email. Like everybody's so negative a lot of times because their product has not come yet. So they're just like sending you all this hate mail, but with digital products, I find that, like they just download it themselves, and there's no problems with delivery. Because I had one, of course, you got to make sure at the end of the sales listing, you say this is an instantly downloadable digital product, because otherwise people are going to think that it's a print planner and it's going to be sent to their house. Like actually someone emailed me anyway that I even had the copy saying that it was a digital product at the end of the sales listing, but they still emailed me saying that they were expecting a print planner to come to their address. And they say, hey, it's been like 3 months. Like, where's my planner? But I said, well, it's an instant downloadable digital product. It's not a printed planner. They go, oh, I didn't know. I thought it was like going to be a printed planner since my house. So that might be a problem you might run into when selling digital products. So you got to make sure it's very clear that this is a digital product that's being sent to their house. It's not sent to their house, into their email. Like, what am I saying? But it's actually a product sent to their email, not to their house. So it's digital. And that's a good thing about selling digital products. You can actually do like passive income. So once you set up your sales page and your copy, it just rolls in. Like that's what I do on Mom Beach. I have several different, email funnels and sales funnels, from opt-in forms, and it's sent to their, first they get a freebie. And then when they sign up for the freebie, they're sent to a sales page. And that usually has a really good offer that's hard to refuse. Like a big giant bundle of printables. Like that's what I do. Currently, that's one of my main, money makers is this big bundle of printables. In the sales copy, I like mentioned how it's going to change their life, how it's going to help them. Because what I'm selling is like a meal planner and like a cleaning planner, and it's all in one. It's like an organizing system for their house. So it's going to like help them, organize their house better and clean their house. So I really go through the pain points, like outline all their pain points. And that means that like what their problems are, like what problems are they having. So that's what you do. You'd outline all the pain points of the customer, and then you go through and you answer those pain points and address them, and then you solve the points, in the copy as well. So then what happens is the customer gets all their pain points answered, and that then it ends up solving all their problems in the copy. And then at the end you have objections, like what objections are they having in the copy too. So you make sure to address those as well, and you answer all. That's why a lot of times in sales pages they'll have like frequently asked questions at the bottom of the sales page, is because that's the objections that they're getting. That's why people are not purchasing. That's when you do at the end of the closing. And also when you're doing like a sales email sequence, you can also make one email and it's all about the questions and objections people are having about the product. And you addressed all the objections about why they should not buy, about everything. You answer all the questions. That could be like the last email of the sequence if you send out an email sequence. And I do that too. Like I'll make like email sequences that are like sales sequences, and that's usually one of the last emails I'll send in the sequence to get them to purchase. Because I actually made a big giant sequence, like a 7-day sequence, to sell the planner bundles. After they opt into the email, they're sent the sequence. Even if they do not buy, they're still given an email sequence. The money is actually in the sequence. Because a lot of people that do not purchase on the sales page, they'll like purchase in the email sequence. So it's also a good idea to set up an email sequence, even if you have a sales page too, because a lot of times people will not buy. And in Shopify and ConvertKit, they really work well together, because in ConvertKit, you can actually prevent people from getting the sequence if they have bought the planner. So that's what I do. I put like, if they bought the planner, I'll filter them out. And that way they will not get the email about the planner bundle. There's like a planner bundle where they get like three planners in the bundle. And if they did buy it, then they will not get the email. Because that way, because a lot of people are angry, they say, why am I getting this email? I already purchased this. Like, what's the point of this? So I'll filter them out. And then the next day, they'll get another email about it, that has something else about like the benefit. Like, I'll highlight the benefits each day. And then a lot of people end up purchasing it. It's only like $7 for this bundle. And I also have another bundle that's $17 on the same page that has like 6 planners. So, a lot of people will opt into that. So it's always good to have like an upsell too on your sales page, so people will spend more money, but they're still getting their pain points, addressed, and all their objections addressed. And it's always good. And then you have like a 247 salesperson, on your blog. Or it's really good to get a blog, because it actually acts as a 247 salesperson. Because can you imagine the price of like paying someone 247 to sell your products? Like, it gets astronomical. So if you set up yourself, you set up once and forget about it. Maybe go through and tweak it, and do A/B testing, which means you do multiple, sales pages and multiple copy. You see which ones are like getting the most sales. Like that's what I did. I like made sure I did like A/B testing. And I use lead pages for my sales page, and I just test it. And I have like different versions of the sales page, and I go through and I see which versions are getting the most sales. And that's the way I was able to, like scale my income quite a bit, because I ended up going with a sales page that was even better, and I keep making it better all the time, to see how much more sales I could get and what more copy I could put on the page to get people to purchase it, like that would help better answer their pain points and their objections and whatnot. That's like another thing you could do is like make a sales page, for your products, that like if you do like a freebie opt-in that goes to a sales page, like that's like an upsell. And they also call it a tripwire too, but that's kind of a negative term, but I like to think of it as an upsell or a sales page. This tripwire sounds kind of negative, you don't want that. So I just hope this really helped you about selling better, and you have more confidence, to sell. Because, it's all about your mindset, and how you got to really believe in your own products. Because once you believe in your own products and you really think they're going to help somebody, then you should have no trouble selling them. You actually have a moral and ethical obligation, like I said before, to sell these products if they're really going to help change someone's life. And you believe that in your heart, that these products are going to make a difference in someone's life, then you really should sell them. Like, there's no excuse like why you shouldn't, because if you don't sell them, it's going to be selfish. You're going to be a selfish person because you're keeping all of these nice products to yourself, and you're not, sharing them with others that will help benefit their lives and touch them and help make their life better. So you're kind of being selfish. You're being a greedy bitch, so you got to go out there and sell your stuff, and just get out of your stuff, and just stop, thinking that you're this cheesy person that's never going to, make anything of yourself. You just got to get out of that mindset and just really believe in your own products and believe in yourself. And you can really make things happen for yourself. You can really grow your business because, you're actually staying in the way of your own success. If you're refusing to sell, you're the one, it's only you. You have no one to blame but yourself because you're preventing yourself from being successful because you're refusing to go out there and sell and refusing to get out there. Because look what I'm doing. I'm out here. I'm actually broadcasting live to my group. I have a group of like almost 2,000 people. I'm not scared at all. I'm so used to doing this. I'm natural. Like I'm not worried about it. I don't care what people think, even though I'm kind of fat. Like I don't care. What's the deal with that? Who gives a shit? Like I'm going to be out here, and I'm going to be myself. And I'm not going to care about what anyone thinks. I'm going to sell because I believe my products will actually help somebody, and I'm not scared at all to do it. And you should be the same way. It doesn't matter what you look like, what you sound like. Because I happen to sound kind of silly. I'm Southern. I'm from Texas. I have like a Southern accent. A lot of people equate, being Southern with being stupid and uneducated. So what do I care about that? So I don't care if people think that about myself. Who gives a shit? Like I'm just going to be out there. And I'm going to put myself out here. I'm going to like sell. And I'm not going to care. So hopefully you can get into the same mindset because you can really get yourself successful if you just stop. If you just stand out of your own shit, get out there and put yourself out there and actually sell, then you could be successful too. Because I make 6 figures, selling. I have like a 7,000 a month printable store. It sells personal use printables on Shopify. And I just because I sell, I get out there. I put myself out there. I put my products out there, and I really make things happen. And someone says like I'm not fat. I wish I was your size. I'm not. Oh. Well, like I used to weigh 400 pounds, so I still have a really bad mindset about that sometimes, but I did lose quite a bit of weight, but I'm still, pretty heavy. Like I have a big giant butt and hips, so I'm not going to care anymore. And then someone says, you are awesome to be yourself. I admire you a lot. Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate your kind comments. I'll let you go. Hope you have a wonderful day and just believe in yourself because you're the only one standing in your way of success. You're your only roadblock. Once you get out of your shitty mindset and actually like realize that you're a wonderful person, that's going to make waves, then you got it made. You're going to do it. I believe in you. You got this. So have a great day. Goodbye. Thank you so much for listening to the Becky Beach Show. Please go to mombeach.com/podcast to learn more about my podcast and for show notes. If you want a 2022 free printable goal planner, please go to mombeach.com/subscribe. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great day. Goodbye.